everybody, it's Stacie Duffy here, your Denver Metro real estate resource. And yeah, I want to talk about disclosure, which I know a lot of people don't care about, but this is the stuff that will put you in court over something that could have been completely avoided if not resolved very cheaply and easily much prior. So I have so many sellers that ask me, this doesn't work, do I have to tell the buyer that? Or this doesn't work, do I need to fix that? Okay, I'm going to put a link up above and down below about what do I need to fix, okay? Very market dependent. I'm not going to go into detail, but I've already shot a video on it. As far as, that's a big question I get is, do I need to fix that? The other questions I get are, do I have to tell them that? Okay, if I could have the facepalm emoji, like plastered in the front of this video for the entire thing, I probably would. Sellers' legal obligation to disclose has changed a little bit in the last few years, at least to the state of Colorado. I'm going to speak to the state of Colorado because that is where I'm licensed. That is my sandbox. That is where I work. That is where I play. That is what I know. Okay. Your state may be different. Ask your local trusted realtor. If you don't have one for your area, reach out to me. My contact information is on my website. Link for that is down below. Reach out to me directly, not just in a comment down below, guys. So I can set you up with someone that's a good fit for you and refer you to somebody there. But it is different by state, okay? And it changed a few years ago. So seller's obligation to disclose previously was latent defects, all right? Latent defects were defects or things wrong that are hidden, that are not obvious to the eye, okay? A plumbing leak in a wall, for example, something like that, all right? Still had people trying to hide those things that they knew about them, but that was the requirement for a long time. That changed a couple years ago to adverse material facts. Okay, that is a very, very different legal definition. And I'm not going to argue the legal definition, and I could argue one way or the other. But as far as the legal people that are smarter than I am, the attorneys that represent a lot of real estate clients, and that's what they do for a living, is they're real estate attorneys, they explain that as material facts that are things that are true with the property that are adverse, which may change a buyer's purchase decision, okay? That is a much broader definition of disclosure requirement. So now it's not just, hey, there's a plumbing leak in the wall of the property that I knew about that I didn't tell you. That was a latent defect. You should have disclosed that. But now it is, hey, the next door neighbor in my condo building smokes heavily all the time. That smell creeps into my unit all the time, but they travel 6 months a year, and you're not going to know that because I'm going to sell my property in the 6 months that they're not here. Okay, guys, come on. You want to talk about an easy way to get sued? It is not worth it. So if you have not been, if you've been living under a rock, just in case you haven't heard, it's an extreme seller's market right now. In other words, people are clawing over each other to buy your houses. I heard one about yesterday. We had someone in the office that their property, I think it was $180,000 over the list price on a $600,000 house. Hello? Like, people are giving you anything and everything they can, including tons and tons and tons of money to buy your house. So if you are worried about, hey, that toilet drips, I don't want to tell somebody because they might not want to buy my house because of that. Now is not the time to be worried about those things, okay? If people are going to want to buy your house right now, even if there are issues. Yes, I'm going to talk, in that other video that I mentioned, what to fix, what not to fix, all that kind of stuff. But in the seller's market condition, you have a lot of options. But lack of disclosure is a great way to get sued and turn your life into a living hell. Okay, so in the seller's property disclosure, the other thing I want to touch on that is it's a detailed form that the seller in this contract, in the contract to buy and sell, and I'm holding up the draft because I just shot the contract changes as far as what just changed in the contract. So I'll link to that up above and down below because I've probably already posted that. But in the contract, the seller agrees to give the buyer a seller's property disclosure about what they do and don't know about the property, okay? In there, it is kind of confusing. Ask your agent what it means. They can't fill it out for you, but they can explain how the form is supposed to work. And there's a lot of things that say, has there ever been a problem with this? Is there currently a problem with this? Those are two big differentiators in that disclosure. So some of those things, like, has there ever been a roof leak? Okay, yes, but it was fixed, and here's the deal. There's places to add in comments and explain the situation, okay? Just because there was a roof leak 15 years ago and the roof has been replaced once since then doesn't mean that's going to scare off a buyer, guys. So, but you are required to disclose those things that you have current actual knowledge of, not what the neighbor told you that somebody else told you happened a few years back, what you have current actual knowledge of, okay? So there's some sections that say, has there been a problem ever existing with this? Some say, is there currently a problem with this? Okay? Please use the comment section to disclose what you know. Disclose, disclose, disclose. Okay? That is what we are taught. That is what I tell my clients. When you are trying to say, hey, do I have to tell them this, whatever? I'm like, okay, let's look at the seller's property disclosure. Does it say that you have to tell them there was ever a problem, or if there's currently a problem? If it just says currently a problem and there's not because you already fixed it, fine. If it were my house, I would still go in and say, hey, there's not currently a problem with it, but by the way, this happened and I already fixed it. Okay? I can't tell you how much more comfortable I feel and my clients feel when we get a seller's property disclosure and information that says, yes, there's been problems, but we fixed them. Okay? And here's what we know about them. And by the way, here's the receipts and here's who we hired. In case you ever have an issue, don't call me, call them. Okay? I would much rather see that than a blank property disclosure that says, nope, nothing's wrong. Really? Really? I call bullshit. Okay? And if you don't know anything's wrong, fine. But chances are, if you've owned a house, you know something about it. Something about it. So stop trying to hide things. That drives us nuts, okay? And all it does is it's going to end you up in court or have some really pissed off people later, and chances are your neighbors are going to rat you out. Neighbors love to talk. And here in Colorado, they're not as social, but I'll tell you in the South, growing up in Texas, bless your heart, if you didn't know that house had a flood a few years ago, by God, that neighbor's going to tell you. And they're going to tell you when they bring over the muffin basket, when they welcome you into the neighborhood the weekend you move in. So just, guys, stop trying to, sorry, the Texas comes out, but stop trying to hide things. If you know it about your property, ask your agent what you were required to disclose, and chances are they're going to say, you know what, let's go ahead and tell them. I would rather them know now than find out later. Adverse material fact here in Colorado is a very broad definition of what the seller is required to disclose, okay? So stop trying to hide stuff. Understand what your obligations are, especially in this kind of market where it's a seller's market. I'm shooting this in February of 2022, so I don't know if that's going to be the case forever, and I don't know when I'm going to post this, but right now, if there's ever a time to sell a house that has problems and people need to know it has problems, and chances are they're not going to care because it's cheaper to fix that than it is to bid $50,000 over the person behind him in line that doesn't care about it either. So anyway, if you're looking to buy or sell here in the Denver metro area, this is what I do for a living. I love to help my clients accomplish their goals and not end up in court. Yay, no one wants to end up in court. That's expensive and not helpful. So I'm always going to advise my clients based on what's in their best interest and what their legal obligations are, because a lot of people don't understand that either. So feel free to reach out to me. I'd love the opportunity to interview for the job, because you should be interviewing agents. If you're going to hire someone to do a job for you, make sure you talk to more than one person. My contact information is on my website. Link for that is down below. But yeah, this is the stuff of my nightmares, guys. I hear it all the time. Well, not from my clients, but I hear horror stories about it all the time. And it's totally and completely avoidable and not worth going to court for. So anyway, hopefully you're liking the videos. If this was helpful for you, or it's something that you wish you would have known before, you know, hit the like button, help other people find it that it might help as well, and prevent them from going through a bad experience as well. So thanks so much for the time, and have a great day.